Facebook is not Meta. The metaverse was there before they changed to Meta. However, they use their resources to basically like try to claim that name.
Correction. Facebook is Meta in a mask. Yo. Yes, sir. It brings me great pleasure to welcome you all to the BNFT Podcast, episode 105.
Yo, what's up?
We are in the building at AfroCon's HQ. But before we get started, I definitely want to take the time out to pay some respects to some creatives which we have lost as of late. It's been a tough couple of weeks, and this episode is respectfully dedicated to the creatives that we have lost, the beloved creatives. Our sincerest condolences go out to their families, to their friends, and all of those who loved that they had creative souls. So, forever Virgil, forever Dolph, forever Pop Smoke. Smoke will never clear.
Facts.
So, we are here again at AfroCon's headquarters. My name is Michael Wade, episode 105. To my right, we have a returning face, but I'm going to start off to my left because I didn't start off to my left last episode. So, sir, please introduce yourself. We're going to get into it real quick.
Yeah. Eric, Professor X, a.k.a. Professor X.
We got one AKA today. All right, we keep
Yeah.
reading. All right, here's the thing. We're going to lock into one each episode. You feel me? So, I'm going to think about mine. But to my right,
Yo, what up? What up?
you are back, sir.
Yo, what's up?
Please
Back.
tell him your name and your alias, what you go by.
Raul, Blockchain Poppy. Feel me?
Because you know that one sticks. We about to get merch. We about to get all of that soon. I promise
We're gonna have Blockchain Poppy trademark. Just stay tapped in.
Yo, honestly, Blockchain Poppy is a good one. We can really go far with that. But we started off this episode on a different kind of tone, different type of note. We want to show some flexibility and to show that we are people. We're not only talking about the information in the future, because we do think about what's best for the people. But, you feel me, we aren't always feeling the best as people. You understand what I'm saying with that one? You feel me? So, what are our thoughts on the passings of these creatives who we cannot believe collectively say have had a huge impact on our lives?
Very large impact.
A very large one.
I guess, yeah, I could go first on that. So Virgil has been a huge hero for me. You know, he comes from an architectural background. I do as well. And, you know, his vision for, you know, like pretty much like how he has approached design and approached moving the culture forward, even, you know, apart from like all the criticism, it's more like he's always wanted to make like his design more affordable. And, you know, his respect for, like, coming from an architectural background, it's like the civic duty and social responsibility to kind of, you know, even though he made expensive off-white, he also wanted to, like, push forward the culture in new ways. You know, he went, just kind of looking at his whole trajectory, it's amazing. To see how much he elevated other people.
He definitely inspired.
Yeah.
I feel as though, like, with consumers of a culture, there are so many that follow on the back end that don't necessarily know. Like, when Kanye was talking about, like, you feel me, the kings in Paris. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like I feel like he was a part of that collective. Like when Kanye said, "Let's take over Fashion Week," that gentleman was very, very impactful in regards to those type of events. So I think if anybody respects fashion in the regard of where it is, streetwear culture and transition and the combination of streetwear and luxury branding, it what's understood doesn't really need to be said, although we gonna give him his flowers today. You feel me? We definitely gonna give those flowers where they need to be given. Some of the final thoughts and hopes and endeavors of Virgil on his final days or times of this life that we live. He mentioned that he hopes that our people look towards Web3 and crypto in the future in that regard. How do we feel that will affect our people? Or does that align with who we know Virgil to be?
I think if you're an innovator and you're forward thinking, you're looking at the space, and I think that to be a designer and to be a designer at Virgil's level requires you to be able to see where you think the world is moving towards and position yourself there. And I think that unfortunately, we won't be able to know everything that Virgil could have accomplished, but we are, and we do know what's happened so far. So we're thankful for that art. So yeah.
So there was a conversation that surfaced. I'm gonna ask SP to scream this off camera because SP is definitely in the building. Can we get a boom, boom, bow, 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 bow? SP's in the building, but pronounce his name for me real quick before I botch it. The gentleman who had this conversation with Virgil.
Oh, Alex Ohanian.
Alex Ohanian. He had a conversation with Virgil. It was a brief. Honestly, this either looks like Android or group or WhatsApp. So you feel me? I think it's WhatsApp. We're gonna give the benefit of the doubt. But he mentions to Virgil what's going on. He's touching base, and Virgil says all Web3 things, of course. That's the first thing that he mentions, and then he goes on to say the new culture is fascinating, and we need more Black artists in that space. With Virgil saying that and setting a trend and breaking the mold for LVMH, am I getting that conglomerate correct? Mm-hmm. He is the first African American designer, a part of that team, in the history of the brand. That's probably one of the most highly recognized luxury brands, and he brought what we know. Man's from the motherland. His family's from Ghana, correct? And he really shifted and changed American culture that developed in New York City, American culture that developed in Soho. Y'all remember those days? Y'all remember those days?
Yeah.
The big pack of socks, the white socks.
Yo, son, them days, Kid Robot, Clientele,
the long T-shirts,
BBC, the long tees.
The LED belts.
The
wow.
Oh. Blockchain Poppy now.
Blockchain. Oh, that would go
NFT,
crazy.
you think we should NFT that? We need to get an NFT joint, a little Blockchain Poppy tapping. We gotta get that merch going. But we took a quick look back. But in regards to what's also influential in our past, we have media, entertainment, and that culture. That was like Times Square culture. You feel me? That was like TRL culture. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like 106 in Park culture. You feel me? When music videos was hitting the top of charts and industries were pushing these artists, but we also know about the conversation of the 360 deals and all of that type of stuff. Yeah. So jumping into our first main topic of the day, the experience that our culture has had within the media and the ethics behind it. Are the creatives compensated? Have the creatives been compensated? Yes, no, why?
I think we don't control access to our own outlets. You know, like a lot of record labels have had a monopoly on distribution. A lot of artists haven't been able to even get on the radios for a lot of years because of that pipeline that often, you know, creates it so that certain regions of the country can't even really push out an artist on the national platform.
Let's talk about it. Unless they collaborate.
You know, like being from New York is a big blessing.
It's a big blessing, and it's also a curse.
It's also a curse, right? So there's highs and lows, but I think that in the blockchain, there's no space for record labels. I think it's slow.
Okay.
It's slow for record labels.
Okay. Because the ethics are missing, or were missing. We trying to restore ethics. Do you think the blockchain does that?
100%. A large part of it is because Web3 is so decentralized and ownership. You know, anyone's able to participate, especially as creatives. You know, the gatekeeping and the ethics it's always been largely, you know, who got the most lawyers,
Who got the larger team, the bigger budget, the larger staff?
Yeah. So the gatekeeping for record labels is not really a thing now, and even platforms in terms of like Spotify, in terms of how much people actually make from their own music. So like Web3 is all about people actually owning their own creations.
D2C.
Direct
Consumer. Direct to consumer.
No
You gotta
middleman.
streamline it. You feel me?
Yeah.
I think, like, yo, Eric is hitting the nail like right on the head.
Right on the head. What nail is that?
Then the Web 2 idea of having someone else own or give up ownership or equity is really no longer a necessity on the blockchain.
Because a lot of contracts have been signed.
Exactly, and it's like,
Influencers sign contracts every day.
and I doubt a lot of those contracts had Web3 metaverse and blockchain clauses. So that means that regardless of whether or not everything you have is owned in the quote unquote real world or Web 2, like online it's a brand new intellectual property field. And to be honest, people are debating whether or not there is, like in terms of ethics, intellectual property on the blockchain, because it's like, who really owns it, right? Like, where's the
But I
data being
mean,
stored?
There's no DCMA takedowns. Like how is someone going to take down something on a blockchain?
So let's think about ethics, right? The word ethics. Ethics in itself as a concept almost seems like regulation. That's what it's been framed as from our experience. However, when I was in school and I was graduating with my degree in communications and broadcasting, part of my capstone was media law and ethics. And law and ethics, the law is what everybody considers to be ethics. However, the actual ethics is, are you doing right by your client? And sometimes when the client can't really read the lingo of what's going on, then it gets real sticky. However, I think something that's always sticky and confusing and has always been a part of our history in America has been like plans for the afterlife, or plans for those who remain here. So I want to throw this question out there. You feel me? Who benefits from the life of the creative? The legacy, the family, or the industry? Benefit BNFT Podcast. You see exactly what I'm doing here with this plug. And based off of the ethics, based off of the law that's affiliated with the industry now, how will Web3 change that? Will the metaverse allow for those compensations to go directly to the family?
Yeah.
For example, posthumously, Pop Smoke had an album released. There will be more shoes, Off-White and Louis Vuitton will release that Virgil has created. Kobe Bryant had a situation. Vanessa Bryant, her estate had a situation when it came to the release of the product and the brand posthumously. What will Web3 do for that?
I think what Web3 allows is for like there to be smart contracts, like we've been speaking about it, but
We mentioned that in one of our earlier
right,
episodes.
smart contract is basically the rules or the way in which the money is distributed whenever an asset gets sold or moved around. One of the things that we all have to be aware of is that like who really owns or will benefit is whoever's in control of the wallet.
Okay, so now see, this is exactly where we needed to get with this. This is ding, 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 ding. You feel me? The wallet. That's a touchy conversation. A lot of people be asking me, what wallet do I have? How many wallets do I need to have in my Meta wallet? A different topic than my crypto wallet, my Coinbase wallet. So the wallet. Please, we have wallet. What does that mean for this?
Quick. So a wallet is basically a place where you hold some of your different assets for different blockchains or different coins. So you need wallets you may need one kind of wallet for one kind of blockchain. So for example, for an Ethereum blockchain, which is you'll need a MetaMask wallet to hold your NFTs or to hold all of your Ethereum money. But if you have a Solana like NFT or you're trying to trade Solana on the Solana blockchain, you'll need what were we using? Solflare?
Solflare is what we use.
We're using Solflare. And
so now when you have these wallets, right, you also will be connecting these wallets because generally anybody in this space will have more than one wallet, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you definitely need more than one wallet.
You need there's mad games. So there's cold wallets and hot wallets.
Oh my gosh.
And cold wallets is basically wallets that you don't touch or don't access. So they're stored physically. So like there's kind of these USB type of drives where you can store and offload the information from the blockchain onto this wallet, and you can use that to access it. But if you lose that, you lose access to all of your money. So
is that primitive? Has that always been around? That method, the cold wallet? Eric, you also mentioned it. Is it safe to say that's been around since Bitcoin days?
Yeah, so a cold wallet, like the idea and strategy behind it.
Hold on, I'm saying Bitcoin days, like those days are past us, but when it was only Bitcoin, please
continue. So the idea behind the cold wallet, it goes back beyond. It's like kind of like like people freezing someone for like a long time. It's like a cold wallet. It's like cold storage. It stays frozen.
Okay.
It's not moving. It's really a descriptor of how much it's being accessed.
So we probably put that in like a safe box deposit?
Yeah, kind of like a safety deposit box,
And then you probably put the physical in a safety deposit box too, because you would store it. Okay. So what's the next one? Is it a warm wallet or a hot wallet? Is it
a hot wallet?
A hot wallet. All right. So because this is new to me.
So the hot wallet is basically a wallet that's like connected to your phone or the internet or the World Wide Web.
An example of a hot wallet would be
the program like MetaMask.
MetaMask, a hot wallet.
Solflare.
Solflare is a hot wallet. Okay, so I got me a couple hot wallets.
So there's hot wallets. The thing is though, hot wallets can be hacked depending on different inefficiencies or like.
It's getting crazy in the metaverse.
If your security is not on point, if you're not using protection like VPNs, if you're not like protecting all of the apps, if you click the wrong link.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me protect yourself. Protect your neck. You feel me? Like at the end of the day, this is where everybody gets messed up. You feel me? Because they don't know how to access anything. But we're also going to speak on that, and we're glad to have Blockchain Poppy back in the spot. You feel me?
Boom. Blockchain Poppy.
Because we needed this, but understand there will be a whole lot more. We can't give it all to them. But ethics in the metaverse. Now that we have the smart contract, we have hot wallets and cold wallets. You feel me? You'd use those wallets to access your NFTs and whatever may have you. Your wallet is your identity, and that's where the ethics would lie.
So I guess the wallet, you can set up smart contracts so that it sends money, right? A smart contract can send part of, or not money, but I guess the assets or like the crypto, the coin, to a specific wallet or to specific wallets.
So a destination. So if you make an NFT or if you make a piece of art in the metaverse and it's sold, the money after it continues to circulate throughout the metaverse will come directly to your hot wallet.
Yes, for sure.
Lit.
Yeah.
So I think we brought this where it needs to be. In a perfect and ethical metaverse, creatives would and will do what? They'll throw concerts and they'll get all this money direct from consumer. You feel me?
Yeah.
They'll have merch. You feel me? They'll release content. Tory Lanez is back at it again. He just released something on OpenSea. You feel me? It's going. That means he's getting back. He's doing what he gotta do.
Not Tory Lanez.
Not Tory Lanez. All right. So all right. We switching the topic then. Right? Facebook went to Meta.
Facebook went to Meta.
And then we got a couple of twins that's trying to save us from Meta.
So
these twins are named the Winklevoss twins. Why are you laughing, bro?
I never heard that before. That name is funny though.
No. We totally respect the Winklevoss twins for whatever they are saying that they are doing. But right now, they're expressing that they're going to save us from Meta. So Facebook is Meta. For those of you that understand the logic, Facebook equals Meta, not the metaverse, just Meta. You feel me? They branded that because they're trying to be ahead of the game. Winklevoss is like, whoa. The purpose of Meta is to be Meta-y. You feel me? So they're trying to create the alternative. I'm wrong?
No, I think people are just not trying to let Facebook have the ultimate say, like in terms of how the metaverse could look. A big part of what's happening right now is that people are literally building worlds. So if Facebook is the only world builder, Facebook's vision for the world will be how this metaverse and this new frontier is also built. So whether it's like, these people trying to create a competitor, the reality is that like everyone needs to be world building and different people need to be represented. Like Facebook was really silencing like Black Lives Matter posts during the height
we gotta talk about
of it, and like they were also like promoting and allowing for white supremacists and for different right-wing outlets to like take a lot of control and radicalizing through their recommendation system. So yeah.
So I mean, that's a lot to digest.
Yeah.
However, the integrity behind the direction of the narrative thus far hasn't amounted to something that's respectable. So we're concerned moving forward. It sounds like we're a little bit concerned about like, ooh, vaccine this, vaccine that, meta. You feel me? It's kind of like
jumping on the Facebook real quick, because like Facebook is very clever and that them trying to control the narrative and use the branding to change their name to Meta in order to claim something that was already named the metaverse.
Facebook equals Meta.
Right? So like Facebook is not Meta. The metaverse was there before they changed to Meta. However, they use their resources to basically like try to claim that name.
Correction. Facebook is Meta in a mask. Yo. all right. Let me calm down because I am not a comedian. I'm definitely not a comedian. So my question is, right, does this seem a bit counterproductive to what cryptocurrency is trying to do in regards to decentralization? Does this like re-centralize the meta space? Is that?
I think the reality is that there's going to be big players in the space.
Okay.
And that moving over into the metaverse is kind of resetting what interaction looks like, which means that it's kind of like a free-for-all. So a lot of these companies are trying to pivot, and Facebook is just the most public. But a lot of the major corporations like Microsoft, like everyone is thinking of what is their Web3 pivot, how are they going to integrate, what kind of tools can they produce, what kind of products can they make, and like what kind of problems can they try to solve in Web3. So I think that we shouldn't trust Facebook to do it, and I think that we should all be doing it. And I think that the best thing we could do is try to empower Black people everywhere to learn how to code and to learn how to develop and world build.
Which we are capable of, because we discussed in our previous episodes that we have been coding.
We've been coding.
So what?
MySpace.
What are we gonna build that only we know about? What are we gonna
The home
do?
base.
Okay.
We,
Shout outs to the headquarters. Shout outs to the headquarters. I didn't tell you that West No T's in the building. He's in a hoodie.
Yeah.
He's definitely here in a hoodie and some Fleecy Supreme
yo,
And the
camp
champion-
hat for the culture. Molly's in the spot too. Molly's definitely in the spot, but she has not been barking, so I have not mentioned her as of yet. But we are wrapping up the episode. But I'm not gonna push Raul off the cliff because he's about to soar. Let me tell you, Raul, the culture in the metaverse. What do we have to create? Not meta. What do we have to create?
facts.
Because I ain't Winklevoss.
Facts. I think the culture, the metaverse is inherently decentralized, which means that this is ours. And you have to take ownership and really take pride in the community that you build immediately around you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that when we talk about like what are we building, what can be built in the metaverse, it's kind of like what can you imagine?
Okay.
Yeah, what can you imagine? Like consensus with other people, and finding people that you align with. The reality is that there's gonna be some really sick things in the metaverse, and we there are already sick things online, and I think that we have to remind ourselves that even though it's gonna look and feel more real in the metaverse, it's a reflection of humanity. It's not a reflection of the metaverse. The metaverse is a tool.
So it's art, because art imitates life.
It's a fact.
Art imitates life, and life almost still.
And there's a quote from Albert Einstein about imagination being more important than knowledge. And really what Web3 in the metaverse allows is the ability for us to design incentives. So like art, we could go as far as our imagination allows.
Mm-hmm.
And really the ones who are leading the space are the creatives, who are the artists. We have led every single every single revolution has been led by creatives and artists.
And I love when you get into that space, because you asked the question to our audience, why aren't you creating worlds, in our last episode? Give them a little snack so we can lead them along the path. What does that even mean? Because Meta is going to create something. What does it look for us to create something for ourselves? Because it took us forever to get DBAs. It took us forever to get LLCs. It took us forever to incorporate. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this is kind of the same thing, but a different kind of process. So what does building a world look like?
Building a world in the metaverse is as simple as just starting a community. Like that's a world in itself. It's like what Web 2 was more like siloed worlds. You had niche community forums, mm-hmm. and what Web 3 is more about is like now connecting everyone. So like if we want to go far in the Web 3 space, we got to go together.
I'm here for that.
And so we just kind of have to, building that world, starts with you yourself. Mm-hmm. You first have to educate yourself. You have to, know your own strengths and like what really know thyself.
You gotta understand your space and your aura, your ambiance, your energy. Awareness is a key and integral part of moving forward. So I truly appreciate you all for joining me for this 5th episode of the BNFT Podcast, gentlemen. Yes. We are entitling this episode Web3 and the Culture, because it's about what is about to be created. There goes Molly. She's probably ready for us to go for a walk or something. Yeah. So I'd like to thank you all for visiting us and staying tuned with us. On my right, I have
Raul, Blockchain Papi, que lo que.
And on my left, I have.
You got Rex.
Because y'all, if y'all didn't tune into the last episode, that's why y'all don't know. But make sure you take this episode, you comment, you like, you subscribe to the page, the channel, follow us on Instagram, but most importantly, share, because my name is Michael Wade, and I always say, yeah. Peace. Till next time. Molly, what's up?